All right. It looks like we are live. Welcome back to yet another BriHive live stream. We are live in the hive. What is going on, BriHive? How did everyone's weekend go? It was quite a weekend for me. It is Tuesday, first stream of the week, and we have a couple of cases to go over. One new case, one very old case that we covered like a long time ago when this first happened. We're going to be touching base on Astroworld, or Travis Scott and the Astroworld commotion that is going on. And we're also going to take a look into Megan Thee Stallion and her being sued by her quote unquote employees, but apparently she was not paying him as an employee, and it's just a big old mess. Kind of similar to Lizzo's lawsuit, but not as intense in my opinion. They do quite a bit of repeated in the lawsuit, so I don't think this is actually going to be a long live stream. I did see a little bit going on with Britney Spears and her conservatorship, but I couldn't tell whether that was new or not, and I did not have time. As you can tell, we're having a bit of a later live stream today. I did not have time to look deeper into it to see what was going on there. And yeah, I had I had court this morning, so it's been a pretty hectic day for me, but I am happy to be back here in the live stream. If you are watching live, and make sure you go ahead and drop it in the comment section. I know we had a little bit of a late post, so make sure you hit the like button to let people know that we are here live. Late post and late stream, later than normal. Let people know that we are live. If you hit the like button, I think it brings a little bit more energy from the algorithm. So yes, make sure to do that. And let's see where we're at on the live stream. We are at 14 likes with 18 people watching live. So if you are here live and you have not hit the like button, please do. It does help us out in the algorithm. I am going to go ahead and set our like goal at 60 likes this live stream. I know it was a late post, and I know it's a later stream than normal. So we're going to go ahead and set it at 60. Let's see if we can hit the like goal for the live stream. If you're watching live, make sure you go ahead and drop it in the chat so that we can say hello to you. And we are going to jump right into the chat and see what's going on in the BriHive. All right, y'all. This is another stream where my allergies are freaking attacking me. So if I cough, I sneeze, or whatever happens on this live stream, I am sorry in advance. But the allergies are not doing me any favors this year. And honestly, I don't remember my allergies being this bad. So let me know if y'all are having worse allergies than normal, because this year it's dry. It's weird. It's weird. Okay, let's see who's here live. We got Alexis Carney saying, "Oh, I'm interested to see your thoughts on Megan Thee Stallion. I was telling another creator, it's your girl Deja on here, that this Megan thing is worse than telling me Santa isn't real." I didn't think the allegations were really that bad. Honestly, they seemed quite normal for an employee-employer relationship with a celebrity. Let me know if y'all think opposite or differently. Let me know your thoughts on that. But welcome into the live stream, Alexis. Nice to have you back tonight. We got Crystal Harris, a member of the channel. Welcome in. Saying live in the hive. Yes, of course. Welcome in. Member of the channel, supporting as always. Alexa says, "I'm over here like, okay, I'm getting my snacks. No one have fun without me." Well, we are here now. We're here and we're about to start the fun. Hello to Sarah. Hello, Kentari, another member of the channel. Welcome in. Nice to have you back. Saying hi. Crystal Harris says, "Nice braids." Oh, thank you. I almost took them all out last night because, well, it's only like the ones in the front. But I was like, oh my gosh, it's not turning out how I wanted it to. And then it came together at the end. Once I got to like the middle, that's where it comes together for me. On the sides, I'm just like, I don't really know what to do with those. So thank you. Chantel, welcome back in, saying hello to everyone. We got Just Me MD, another member of the channel, always supporting, saying greetings, BriHive family, buzzing in and sending love from East Texas. Well, welcome back. Nice to have you back tonight. How is the weather there? I just feel like it's hot. It's hot here, so I'm assuming it's hot there. Crystal Harris says, "Are those new glasses?" Yeah, I've had these glasses for like 3 weeks now, but thank you for noticing. These are my new glasses. Mary Malarkey, another member and moderator of the channel, saying hello, BriHive Chat. A happy Tuesday. Hello and welcome back in. Nice to have you here tonight. All the happy squirrels, another member of the channel, still love that name, saying hi, BriHive, dropping a B emoji that is for the members of the channel channel that StreamYard doesn't like to show us, but they are pretty cool. So check it out in the chat. Welcome back. Nice to have you here. Upside Down, moderator of the channel, saying, hey all, hello, welcome back. Nice to have you back tonight. We got Tanya D, also known as Destined to Be, saying happy Tuesday, dropping the BriHive emoji that StreamYard doesn't like to show you, but you can check it out in the chat. Welcome back, another member and moderator of the channel, always supporting. And like I always, or I don't always say it, but I think Tanya is our longest supporting member of the channel. So shout out to her. Like, come on, Tanya D. Been here since the beginning when it was like 5 people in here live streaming with me on a regular basis. We were a small crew in the beginning, but here we are. Miss Frosty, I like that name. Member of the channel, saying, hey all, hello, welcome in. Weird Pisces, another member of the channel, always coming in with the timestamps that I need to start putting in the description box. But welcome in, and I definitely appreciate you for pulling the timestamps for me. Nice to have you back in the live tonight. I know you've been on replay a couple of times in the last week or so, but we're happy to have you back. We got, I'm going to mess this up, Chuchino? That's not even the right amount of syllables. Come on, Bree. Chuchinoko. I'm going to go with that. Another member of the channel, welcome in, saying, can we go for 69? Do not turn this into a wild live stream again. Let's not do that. Carolyn Lower, welcome back, saying hi, Bree. We had the tornado sirens go off a couple of hours ago, but I am okay. Well, we are happy that you are back. Welcome back in. Nice to have you. And thanks for joining on the live stream. On Thursday, y'all, if you missed it, we had a members live stream. Carolyn did a wonderful, wonderful job. So welcome back in. Mary Malarkey says, Bree, it's all good. It's your channel. No worries. Kantari says the who to the what? Which one? Which one are we talking about? Saying thanks, E1. What does that mean? Hit the bell? I think times 1, I think. Kentari says, I'm running on 10 minutes of sleep. Oh my gosh. I feel you there. Well, hopefully you can stay up. At most, we're happy to have you in. Kimmy Locker, another member and moderator of the channel. We got our consultant, our paralegal of the channel, saying hello, BriHive, hello, and welcome back into the live stream and also backstage. Hey, Kimmy back there. Nice to have you back. And also you, thank you as well for joining the members live stream on Thursday. It was a great time. If you guys are not members of the live stream and you want to become a member to join us on stage, make sure you do. There should be a join button somewhere on YouTube. I also need to start linking that in the description box so we can have more friends become members of the channel. I'm not doing good with my description box. I'm really not doing good with my description box. I need to get it together. I'm gonna figure that out. But welcome back in to the live stream. Oh, if you want to become a member and join us live on stage, it's always a fun time, a good time. We had some serious talks. We had some funny talks. It was a great vibe. If you missed it, last Thursday, we did our members live stream. All the Happy Squirrel says, Breathe, the pollen has been punching me in the sinuses for over a month. It's worse than ever this year. Mine started maybe like 2, 3, I would say 3 weeks ago. Yeah, so probably a month. It wasn't as bad last week because it was colder. I guess the pollen wasn't pollinating or whatever was happening, but it was not that bad last week. Let's see here. Alexis Carney says, oh, so I have been in the music industry since 2011, have my bachelor's of science in music industry studies and business administration. I think if it's true, the legal allegations, one. Okay, there's one more paragraph coming. Just Me MD says, Bree, did you catch Diddy's response to one of the lawsuits? It was pretty interesting as they are challenging majority of her claims that certain laws were not in effect in the 90s and can't apply to her case. I did see that, and I particularly did not cover it today because we have not covered that particular lawsuit on this channel. So I'm thinking of pulling that over to Thursday and just covering both the complaint and the motion to dismiss on Thursday if I don't have any bigger cases coming in or newer cases coming in. Or what I might do is kind of do a summary of what she alleged and then cover his motion to dismiss. So I know it's not like super timely in my covering of it, but I did see that come through. We just haven't covered that particular lawsuit on this channel. We've covered a bunch of his other ones, but not that one. And I think that is pretty telling for you to basically only challenge not that it didn't happen, but that the laws didn't exist back then. So move along. You do not have a claim anymore. So I do think that's very interesting. Jumping back into Alexis Carney's part 2 of the message, saying can be a part of SA culture normalized in the music industry. Yes, the first allegation. You are right. You are right with the first allegation. That one is a problem. It's a big problem. I was about to say it's not as big as Lizzo's, but no, I think that's definitely bigger than the Lizzo thing that happened. MZ says, popping in with a hi and booping the like. Welcome in. Nice to have you back, MZ. At this point, we are now being told that I'm moving too slow. So if I miss any of your chats, I'm sorry. We just got to get the live stream started. We got Just Me MD saying it's 100 and pollen popping everywhere. Love the 100. Pollen is everywhere. I don't know what's going on. Okay, Alexis Carney says, because like the music industry, I am known for speaking out about issues, and I don't get as much work from it. From a lot of people I used to get work from since I started doing that. And yeah, it's easy to get blackballed in the music and the entertainment industry too, right? Super Serena 808, another member of the channel, welcome in, saying aloha, and welcome back to the channel. We got Weird Pisces saying, I've been in court with Emily D. Baker, glad to get some BriHive time too. What are they covering? I saw some new case pop up, but I haven't had time to like watch other people's videos this weekend. So what are they covering? What are they covering? And then we're just gonna call Sue. I think that's what we decided on last time. We're gonna just say Sue, saying likes. Thank you very much. We got Alexis Carney saying, for example, speaking out against AEG. I used to record sounds for Jazz Fest, but they don't want me back because I spoke about AEG funding the abortion ban, etc. I don't know what AEG stands for off the top of my head. So if you can spell that out for me. Carolyn says, my allergies have been awful this year. It must be this year. It must be this year. Tanya D saying, we're growing. Yes, we are. Thank you very much. And like I said, from the day one supporters, this is why we are growing. Tanya D also left. Oh, it's coming up. Never mind. I'll wait for it. Carolyn Lower became a member again. Welcome back. Welcome back. Nice to have you back in the membership. Oh, can we? Yeah, we can horn. We are going to horn today. That sounds bad. Anyways, I need to make a little graphic for when someone becomes a member, but welcome back, Carolyn Lower, joining the live stream live last Thursday. We definitely appreciate you. Welcome back. Alexis Carney said, it's hard to speak up in the music industry, so I don't think it's as easy as, why didn't he say something? He is risking the entire way of living by doing so. I risk mine. When you find out how much this man was being paid to be on call 24/7, you are going to be shocked if you don't know already. If you don't know already, it's a lot. It's a lot. No, it's not a lot. It was not a lot. That was my whole point. But once you guys find out, yeah, I would have had to. I know I'm always saying I would just quit, but I know it's harder for some people to quit. We got Melissa Simic saying, BriHive dropping some bees and a buzz. Welcome in. Nice to have you in tonight. The live stream new. I don't know if I've ever seen Melissa in the live stream, but if you have been, welcome back. If you just like to lurk, welcome to the chatting side of things. Nice to have you in tonight. Tanya Dees has been a member for 22 months. 22 months. That's like since the beginning. We're coming up on the anniversary of Dep Be Heard. I think that might have been when Tanya came in. The member live stream last week was a lot of fun. It was great conversation and all. Thank you again, Tanya D, for being a member. Let's give her another round of applause. A member for 22 months. You've been listening to me run my mouth for that long. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I don't even know what to say. I'm like, am I not annoying yet after 2 years? We got Carolyn Lower says, I had a blast on the members live stream. We had a blast with you there. Kandari says, I laughed a lot when it came to Kimmy's possessed headset, not going to lie. Yeah. Hopefully Kimmy has that together for the next one. Not trying to be mean, Kimmy, I'm sorry. All of the heavy scroll says, rain knocks all the shimminins, is that what you call it? Out of the air, and I'm grateful for it. The trees are all exploding their gametes up here in Washington. Well, hopefully it's not too bad. I'm really hoping it's not too bad. Sokatoa, welcome back. Welcome back. Kimmy Locker says, darn tech, got you last stream. Sokatoa says, Karen Reed. Oh, that's what everyone's covering, right? Sokatoa says, just finished Natalie's coverage on the opening statements too. I don't know what's going on with that case. Enlighten me, chat. Alexis Carney says AEG is, I'm not going to say that right, Anschutz Entertainment Group. I don't know who that is. Let's see. Phil Anschutz owns, I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. But yeah, so someone owning the music group was supporting the abortion ban recently? Oh my gosh. Weird Pisces says Karen Reed case. That's what everyone's covering right now. Elizabeth Carney says, Phil, I'm going to keep saying it wrong. Anschutz helped out Neil Groshus on the Supreme Court. Okay, that makes sense. Christopher, welcome back, saying hello, Bree, hello, chat. Finally got the notification. Well, welcome in. We're happy to have you in tonight. Carolyn Lower says, girl, the Karen Reed case is insane. Enlighten me. I don't know what's going on. I had never heard about it. Chiraz, hello, welcome in, says, trying to read the room here. Where are most of us on whether Scott Travis should be a target in these lawsuits? We're going to get into it in just a little bit. We are going to get into it. Don't worry. Mary Malaki says, Bree, Emily D. Baker is covering Karen Reed trial. Yes, thank you. I'm going to have to check out what's going on there because I have no idea. Upside Down says, everything seems to be in greater numbers this year. Pollen, insects, birds. It's wild. Not more birds. Love that. Deacon Fatal, welcome back. Oh gosh, I can't do my horn anymore, but we welcome you back. Moderator and member of the channel, great supporter of the channel, Deacon Fatal, saying hello all, reporting with some good news. I am 99% on this class so far, and thank you for all the support throughout the semester. Shout out to you. Congratulations. I can't do my horn today, but you know, we'll let it be. Can I do my what's this one? Oh no, that wasn't a good one. I think that's all I got for cool things. I guess we can dance. No, but congratulations, Dinky Fatal, and welcome back into the live stream. Alexis Carney says, and Anschutz is gonna profit off Loper Enterprise versus Raimondo, possibly, which is a Supreme Court case where they are voting to remove the federal agency oversight on big oil and energy companies. No, don't allow it. Don't allow it. They already are allowing it, huh? Carolyn Lower says, there is no way to brief you on the Karen Reed case. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Alexis Carney says, I don't know about the Travis Scott lawsuit at all. We're going to jump into it in just a moment. Rachel Mills, welcome in, saying Travis Scott deserves all of the lawsuits. Okay, so we got someone against Travis Scott. Are there any supporters of wanting Travis Scott removed from the lawsuit? I don't know. Things are starring and unstarring, Kimmy. I don't know which ones you want me to read. Mary Malaki says, Bree, your sunny disposition, sense of humor, and rants keep us coming back. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I didn't know if I had the energy today, but here it like comes. It comes as we go, right? All the Happy Squirrel says, Karen Reed case is wild. She's accused of unaliving her boyfriend, a Boston police officer, but it seems like the investigation was really sus, and her team says she's being framed. Interesting. I feel like that sounds familiar. I'm gonna have to look into it. Deacon Fatal says, I like the drum thingy. Thank you. That's for when I tell a bad joke. Kimmy Lockett says, agreed with Rachel Mills. Travis Scott actively encouraged the behavior. We're gonna get into it. I don't have the actual court documents today. We're just doing articles today. But yeah, I could not pull it. I didn't have time. I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's see. We're almost done with chats here. Weird Pisces says, I listened to the prosecutor 6 times. Still do not understand anything they're saying. Defense, I got a timeline and their thoughts their thoughts right away. So it sounds like it may be a case where the prosecution is not able to prove their case just from what I'm reading here. Tanya D says, I don't know anything about it either of tonight's cases. We've covered Travis Scott. Megan Thee Stallion is new, but we're going to get into it. It's going to be a little summary, okay? Shu says the boss attorney, Bree, the defense relies on corrupt police framing her. It's so juicy. Is she also a police officer? Carolyn Lower says, so she is being accused of unaliving her boyfriend, who is a cop, but he was killed outside a cop party, and none of the evidence seems to point to her doing it, but a fellow cop doing it and framing her. That's where I was going next. Are they saying that the police killed her and now they're killed him and then now they're framing her? That makes sense. Kimmy Locker says, Bree, check my thingy, my vibe, real quick. Okay. Okay, I'll try to figure that out. We'll do it after the stream. I'll just use the one that it comes with for now. I like being big though. I like being big. Either way it goes, let's go ahead and go. Chelsea B, hello, welcome in. Let's go ahead and jump into Travis Scott. We'll do a little summary on there and then get into where we are in the lawsuit now. Don't quote me on everything because I haven't been following the case like a docket for docket entry, okay? So don't quote me word for things. We're just going over the article and looking at where we are right now in the lawsuit. So we're gonna go ahead and have Bossy B bring us in. All right, y'all. We got Travis lawsuit. Free. Come on. Travis Scott is being sued by several people. And we're talking about several people. We're talking about hundreds of people are suing Travis Scott and the other concert promoters, whoever you want to call them. They'll give us their names in a little bit, but I always forget them off the top of my head. Travis Scott, who is a rapper, dated Kylie Jenner, is the baby daddy to Kylie Jenner's kids. He threw a concert called Astroworld back in November 2021. At this concert, there were just a bunch of people there. It kind of started, I don't know if it was like a riot or what happened, but so he made the crowd pop off. People started to squeeze together. People started to get crushed. And we had, unfortunately, lost 10 people in that concert. The concert kept going while this was happening. So 10 people became unalived. I know some might have made it to the hospitals. Others did not make it to the hospital. 10 people became unalived. And then there were hundreds that were injured. And then also we have the family suing for like wrongful death against Astroworld and Travis Scott and some other promoters. Drake was also named in this lawsuit initially. He has recently been released from the lawsuit and some other people too, which we'll get into in just a little moment. Travis Scott also moved to be released from the lawsuit, saying basically, I was just there to perform. I'm not the issue. If I knew this was going on, I would have stopped it. In fact, I did stop the concert 4 times because things looked unsafe. And I was like, hey, handle this. This person needs help. I did stop the concert. However, I had no way of knowing that all of these people were actually being crushed in this big crowd of people. Like people were just kind of packed in there like sardines. And unfortunately, it led to people being unalive, including all the way down to a 9-year-old. Oldest person was 27 years old that lost their lives in the Astroworld event, which is a really big concert that Travis Scott throws. It's Travis Scott's concert. Drake was there. He performed. He performed. But it's Travis Scott's huge concert. And basically, he was telling his fans that the show was sold out. They are alleging that the concert was actually oversold for the size of the premises. And on top of that, Travis Scott actually encouraged more of his fans to sneak in and jump the gate. And people did sneak in and people did jump the gate. And so there were a lot more people in there, even people without tickets, a lot more people in there that should not have been in there, plus the ticket holders. So as you can imagine, it led to people being squished and a whole lot of other dangers, right? So Travis Scott moved to be dismissed from the lawsuit because he said, you know what? Drake had some luck. Drake had some luck and he was dismissed from the lawsuit. So what about me? Can I also be dismissed from the lawsuit? Let's see about it. We're going to just read into it. Attorneys for the rap star Travis Scott argued in court Monday that he should be dismissed. And this was back this is April 15th. So that had to be, when was the Monday? April 15th. That had to, I guess it was April 15th when they argued the motion. But anyways, in Monday, they argued that the Travis Scott should be dismissed from the hundreds of lawsuits filed over the deadly 2021 Astroworld Festival, saying he was not responsible for safety planning and watching for possible dangers at the Houston event. We can see why that's his argument, right? He's on stage, he's performing. How could he also be watching the crowd for safety? That's what we have security for. That's what we have the police there for. That's what we have, the promoters for, to make sure that the space is big enough for everyone. Okay, let's go on. But attorneys for the relatives of one of the 10 people unalive during a massive crowd surge at the festival said Scott ignored safety concerns and threatened to release online personal information of anyone who would cancel the event over safety concerns. So not only is he allegedly encouraging his fans to come into the concert even if they don't have tickets, he's also allegedly threatening people to basically dox them if they shut down the concert for safety concerns, which is a weird thing to say. So I would like to see the proof of that. Stephen Brody, the attorney for Scott, said the rap star remains devastated and heartbroken by the tragic events on November 5th, 2021, when authorities and festival organizers tried to shut down the show and stop the surge. The families of the 10 people who unalive, as well as hundreds who were injured, sued Scott and Live Nation, the festival's promoter, as well as dozens of individuals and entities, one of those people including Drake, during a court hearing before State District Judge Kristen Hawkins. Brody argued that Scott and his touring and production company, XX Global, or I guess that might be 20 Global, should be dismissed from this case. They said his duties and responsibilities related to the festival are outlined as performing, marketing, curating talent for the event, providing for his own personal security, and improving all creative matters involving the festival. So could we argue that him telling more people to come into the event than was allowed, considered approving all creative matters? Could that be his responsibility? Who knows? Let's see. And that's it, Brody said. During the concert, Scott, whose real name is Jaquez Vernon Webster, too, did stop his performance 4 times to check on issues he saw in the crowd, including some people who appeared to be in distress, according to Brody. Did he have show pause authority? The judge asked Travis Scott's attorney. He could stop performing and wait to see if an issue of concern had been resolved, Brody said. So he could stop the show, basically. So his attorney didn't do a good job there. But Brody added the festival's organization, as well as Houston police, also had the ability. Oh, where did we get to this finger pointing thing before? We had finger pointing before. That was in what case? I shouldn't be liable because that's who it is. Hannah Gutierrez Freed. Why am I going to jail? Alex shouldn't have pointed the gun. Sure, he shouldn't have pointed the gun, but you also should have checked if there was bullets in the goddamn gun, right? So he's saying the same thing. Yeah, I could have stopped the show, but so could the police. Okay, that's not what they're asking you. Okay, we're looking at negligence here. But Brody added the festival's organization and the Houston police also had the ability to turn on the lights or cut off the sound if they thought something was wrong. If I remember this correctly, this festival was outside. I know it was nighttime, but I don't know how effective lights would have been there. Noah Westler, an attorney for the family for Madison Dubisky, 23, and said Scott's contract defined him as a co-promoter of the festival with Live Nation, and as a promoter, he was responsible for the event's safety under the Texas rules. Wexler alleged that Scott, in a May 5th, 2021 tweet that was sent after tickets for Astroworld had sold out, instigated his fans to, on the day of the show, break into the festival grounds, writing, "We still sneaking the wild ones in," basically telling you to come even if you don't have a ticket. Wrestler said this created dangerous conditions for a festival that was massively oversold and was part of a conscious disregard for safety. Wexler alleged that Scott and his manager, David Stromberg, created dangerous safety conditions by insisting that Scott be the only musical act to use the main stage on the festival's first day, a situation that could create crowd flow problems. Scott and Stromberg were also accused of threatening to dox any festival organizers who would cancel the show over safety concerns. In a deposition, Stromberg said his doxing comments were a joke made in poor taste. That doesn't sound good. Brody said safety concerns raised over Scott's being the only person to use the main stage were fixed. Wrestler also accused Scott and his team backstage of ignoring orders from festival organizers to stop the concert at 10 p.m. So they're basically saying they were telling Scott to stop the show. He said he paused it several times throughout the show, but they also were telling him to stop the show at 10 p.m., which is going to become important in a minute. In a deposition, Scott said he was never told as he was on stage that there were people in the crowd who were unalived and he needed to stop the show at 10 p.m. Scott said he was told to end the show after hip-hop guest artist Drake performed. The concert didn't end until 10:12. So they were telling him to stop at 10 o'clock. There were already people unalived at 10 o'clock, and it continued for 12 more minutes. It's one of the worst days for not just me, but for a lot of people, families, the city. It was just a bad day overall, Scott said in a deposition in September. Attorney for other individuals and companies tied to the festival also asked Hawkins on Monday to be dismissed from the case. Hawkins was expected to issue a ruling on Scott's motion and the others at a later date. Last week, Hawkins dismissed lawsuits against Drake and several other individuals and companies involved in the show. After an investigation by the Houston police, no charges were filed against Scott, and a grand jury declined to indict him and 5 other people on any criminal counts related to the deadly concert. Now, remember, just because there are not criminal charges does not mean that he is not liable civilly, because civil liability is less clear and convincing evidence, while we have criminal liability is beyond a reasonable doubt, 99% versus like 75%. So it's possible that he could still be liable, even though they declined to press charges against him. Those unalived, who range from age 9 to 27, died from compression asphyxia, which an expert likened to being crushed by a car, which sounds very painful. The lawsuit filed by Dubisky's family is set to be the first one to go to trial on May 6th. So that is like next week. This is going to trial. So we should have a little bit more information about how this thing is going to go down, unless it gets continued, right? Some of the lawsuits filed by the families and of the unalived and the hundreds who were injured have already been settled, including those filed by the families of 4 of the unalived people. So we got 4 out of 10 families who lost someone. They've already settled the case. So they've already most likely been paid money to make it go away. The other people are fighting for either a bigger cause or a bigger check. We don't know, but that's where it's at right now. So that's where it went down, right? I don't have a lot of information on what happened after this. These were the arguments that they made. I thought that was the most important part to get across to you guys, because I didn't have time to pull the motions today. But the judge ended up declining to release Travis Scott from the lawsuit. Now, once I have some time, I am going to pull the order. I just don't remember what the case number was and what court it's filed in, to try to figure out if the court gave any reasoning, because all of the articles that I found did not give any reasoning as to whether why they're not dismissing Travis Scott versus why they did dismiss Drake. I haven't looked into the Drake stuff yet. I saw it pop up last week, but I was not really paying attention to it like this one because I thought it was interesting. Drake is dismissed. He's also a performer, but Travis Scott is still, liable for what's going on. And I think it makes sense with him being the main star. It was his concert, right? He was the one promoting it. He was the one gathering the talent. I mean, Drake just showed up so he didn't get fired, so he didn't get fined, right? But Travis Scott, this is your literal concert where your face, people are walking into your mouth at the beginning of the concert. And there were a lot of conspiracy theories about this concert of being like a sacrifice and everything like that. We're not going to go into that today, but also let me know if y'all think that this was some type of Illuminati kind of thing. But a lot of people think that it was some kind of sacrifice, and like some of the artwork, you could see people like images that you would expect for someone to be being unalived. So I thought that was those are some pretty interesting thoughts as far as that goes. But we're not going to get into it because I don't know enough about that stuff to really get into that. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the chat and see what's going on there. If you got comments, make sure you drop it in the comment section so that we can cover it before we get into Meg Thee Stallion and her lawsuit. Y'all are killing it. And the likes, I was like, well, let me just set it at 60 because it was a late post stream. I don't know if we're going to make it. We are at 42 likes with 44 people watching live. Our like goal is 60. So we only have 18 more likes to go before we hit our like goal for the stream. So make sure y'all do hit the like button. Definitely appreciate everyone who has already hit the like button. So let's go ahead and jump into the chats. We got Chiraz saying Scott had criminal charges at one point over Astrodome unalives. These are all civil. Yes, these are all civil now. The criminal charges have been dismissed. So he's not going to be charged criminally at this point. Deacon, or not dismissed, but they declined to charge. Deacon Fatal says it was a riot. They're calling it a crowd surge. I don't know like how intense it got. It got pretty intense, but they're calling it a crowd surge, like people just kind of pushing forward towards the stage. Rachel Mills says he encouraged people to get wild. That's what happened. He did. He said he was sneaking the wild ones in. He also said get wild. He also told people to sneak in. He also told people that if you try to cancel for safety concerns, we don't care about safety, allegedly. Yeah, that's a problem, right? Chiraz says, not a riot, overcrowded, bad crowd control, 10 people asphyxiated. Yes, of course, that is correct. Rachel Mills says, not a riot in the traditional sense, but he encouraged his fans to get wild. He has a history of this. That was another thing that was brought up, that people kind of knew what Travis Scott's concerts were like and that it was a time to go get wild, right? Chiraz says, I think this was a perfectly foreseeable given the history and antics. I think so. Maybe we should do a poll. Is Travis Scott, Kimmy, do you have some time to pop up a poll? Should Travis Scott be held liable for this? Otherwise, how are these people going to, not to do deep pockets, but how are these people going to get their money if Travis Scott is not the one being held liable for it? So I don't know if Kimmy can do a poll. But if not, I can pop a poll up right now. So I'll just put, is he partly responsible? Is Travis Scott partly responsible for the Astroworld tragedy? I feel like that's an easy answer, but let's see what the chat thinks. Yes, he encouraged it. I don't know why I'm typing looking down. Encouraged it. No, he could not have controlled the chat. Or not the chat. I can control the chat. I can't control the chat. He could not control the crowd. Could not control the crowd. No, the organizers. And when I'm saying organizers, I'm meaning like other promoters, not Travis Scott. Let's see. Oh, I already started the poll, Kimmy. The organizers are responsible. And then we'll do no one. Or let's put, I don't know. Let's do it. Okay, so is Travis Scott partly responsible for the Astroworld tragedy? Yes, he encouraged it. No, he could not control the crowd. No, the organizers are responsible. And then I just put IDK for I don't know. So here we go. Let's see what the chat thinks. That way we can vote anonymously. Anonymously. Okay, let's go here. Okay, Chelsea B says, has the venue paid out the victims yet? Who wildly overpacked it? It sounds like, and I don't know all the facts yet, it looks like there's been some depositions and things going on, but it sounds like the tickets were already oversold. I don't know if that's always done in concerts in anticipation that people won't show up. I don't think that this concert had like seats for you to sit. It's kind of like first come, first serve. You get closer to the stage the earlier you come. And that's why they were talking about crowd control and crowd flow, because it's kind of, in my opinion, of what I saw it as, it's kind of like Coachella. If you're there first, you get to be closest to the stage if you go stand right there. So apparently, even beyond the tickets, people were encouraged to continue to come. So they're trying to blame Travis Scott for that, but we don't know if the promoters also have a hand in it as well. Mary Malarkey says 10 people. Oh my, yeah, 10 people were unalive. Alexis Carney says, yeah, I knew about Astroworld, didn't know he was getting sued for it. Yeah, so this was the most recent one. I think he had done like another Astroworld concert before, and he's just like known for these big party atmospheres, and this one resulted in tragedy. Alexis Carney says, I would say there could be a case for that, like it is the promoter's job to not oversell tickets. Yeah, but he's also a promoter. So he not only was participating in the oversell of tickets, if that comes out to be a fact, but he also was encouraging online saying sneak in if you're wild, basically. Chiraz says Scott owned a percentage of the production company, a company who made the decision on what kind of security to hire. He also had his own security too. Alexis Carney said, oh, it's his fault. Oh, his fault. Alexis Carney says, regardless of if Travis was the promoter, if he encouraged people to sneak in, he could be liable, I believe. Yes, he's basically inciting the crowd, right? MZ says a 9-year-old got crushed in the overcrowding too. Yes, there was a 9-year-old there that also lost his life. And I believe a lot of the people were like young 20s and I believe a teenager or so, too. And then the 9-year-old. Shiraz says, I didn't listen to the people that he hired when they told him to shut down the concert. He's claiming that no one told him to do it until after the show, but somehow it miraculously ended 12 minutes later. Maybe he was like, I'm going to finish the show. I don't know, but he's going to claim he didn't know. Rachel Mills says to Chiraz, from what I understand as well, the layout of the concert was bad to begin with as well, right? I'm thinking so. Chiraz says it was a textbook unalive trap. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. People got pushed up against fencing with no exit and got crushed. Yes, and people just like pushing towards the stage, pushing either way. Some people trying to get out. That was a problem. I believe someone got in, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe someone got trampled on, which caused an unalive or at least injury. I can't remember, but I believe some people got trampled on. Draz says, also, our police chief is a sad disappointment. Cave to a celebrity? Okay, are you from Houston? And Rachel Mills says, by the way, Travis Scott's business manager is the same woman, Lou Taylor, who urged Britney's dad to put her in the conservatorship. Why would he want to work with her? Deacon Fatal says, I have only planned like 2 concerts with local bands. One was huge to me. I'll have to tell y'all about that another day. Yes, do tell. Chiraz says, if he wanted to know, he would have known. He had an earpiece in. I'm sure he knew. Allegedly, they're saying they told him. Rachel, they're going to start pointing fingers. That's the bad part. I mean, bad part for Travis Scott. Rachel Mill says, I hope this gets streamed. And I don't know if this one is going to be streamed. There's like hundreds of lawsuits. Like, as it said, the first one to go forward is May 6th. So maybe. I haven't looked into it though. So we'll take a peek. Deacon Fatal says, please like the stream because it helps. It helps on here. Yes, thank you very much for that reminder. Tanya D says, unfortunately, it was his event. He has to own it. Yeah. And what are we talking about? We're talking about deep pockets, but really, does Travis Scott have deep pockets? A lot of these celebrities are not as rich as we think they are, but they do want to hold the celebrities liable so that this doesn't happen again, right? Chantel says, IIRC. I don't know what that stands for off the top of my head. Someone had gotten injured at one of his previous concerts after, if I remember correctly, after he encouraged his fans to get wild. I do think I heard that as well, but I don't know if that's just me making things up in my brain. Alexa says, at first I was, come on, Bree. At first, I was like, he might not be, but now I'm more like, well, he could be. He had a lot of responsibilities on the show, and it was his show. It was his concert. Alexa says, because not every event an artist performs at is like their event, but if that event just Googled, yeah, it looks like Travis Scott is the main organizer and promoter of Astroworld. Like, yes, you are literally walking into his mouth as you enter the concert. Alexa says, so unfortunately, I felt like I should vote yes. That's no problem. Alexa says, it's not typical to oversell tickets for music because especially in New Orleans, you can get shut down by the police and fire station for creating a hazard. And yes, the police and the fire station and everyone that was there handling Houston should have shut this down. Sure. But this is very similar to Hannah Gutierrez Reed, and we just saw her be convicted. We just saw her be convicted for criminal liability. 99% sure, right? This is only 75% sure. Carolyn Lower says people have larger concerts with no fatalities or injuries. Yes, because they are doing it right. Right amount of space, right amount of security, shutting it down if it's an issue. Carolyn says Steve I'm going to say that wrong. Aoki has wild parties with no unalivings. Yes, it can be done. It literally can be done. They just didn't take the safety precautions, in my opinion. MB says, just like Hannah and Baldwin, both Travis and the ones who chose the layout are responsible. Yeah. Yep. Agreed there. MB says, I have been to so many concerts of that size. It was an unaliving trap waiting to happen. Travis have a lot to do with it. Okay, I see the correction. Rachel Mill says, I just saw an article that said the victims want the trial to be streamed to the public. I haven't looked into it yet. I haven't got any word on it yet, but it will be next Monday. So maybe, because I may take Monday and Tuesday off next week. Okay. We'll see. Just Me MD says they were severely understaffed to cover security. Yeah. They didn't have enough security there. Deacon Fatal says, okay, bands that have shut down concerts, Pink comes to mind. You have to shut it down if it's too many people there. It's safety first. It is safety first. And like really the conspiracy theories is the one that gets me thinking that they did it on purpose. But who am I? I'm not going into conspiracy. So let's see where we're at with our likes. We are here at 50 likes. We got 10 more likes until we reach our like goal. Shout out to the BriHive for making the like goals happen. Okay, I think we're going to get there because we got a whole nother lawsuit to go through. So let's go ahead and jump over to that. All right, y'all. We got another lawsuit. We got Megan Thee Stallion. You know our girl Meg, not Meghan Markle. Not Megan. There was another Megan we didn't like on the channel. But Megan Thee Stallion, I think her name is her. I thought her name was spelled with a H. Is it not spelled with an H? Let's see. I think it's spelled with an H. Oh, no, it's not. I spelled it wrong in our whole title. Gosh, Lee Bree. Oh, that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Not me trying to correct the spelling and I don't even have it right. Anyways, let's get into it. Remember how Lizzo got sued by her dancers? Yeah. So Megan Thee Stallion is being sued by her personal cameraman. And what might a personal cameraman be? It's a guy that follows her around with the phone to make TikToks and Instagram stories and everything. Like how we always go and we go online and we see all these aesthetic videos. Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion has someone that follows her around. I don't know if it's a phone. I'm assuming it's a phone. It could be a camera, but I'm going to assume he's following her around with his personal device and making video recordings of her so that she can post it on the internet and impress all of us. Well, this cameraman is a little bit upset because he's basically saying that he was misclassified as an employee. He wasn't paid enough money and all the works, right? All these other things are what he's claiming. So we're going to jump right into it and see. I couldn't download this one. It was like being strange for me. And it has funny formatting. So I'm hoping this is the actual right complaint. If it is, the formatting sucks. That's all I would say. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it. We are in the Superior Court of the State of California for the County of Los Angeles. We have Emilio Garcia, an individual, suing Rock Nation LLC, Hot Girl Touring LLC. Is that Rock Nation owned by Jay-Z? I didn't know she was like associated. Am I wrong? Is Rock Nation not owned by Jay-Z? Anyways, we're suing Hot Girl Touring LLC, Megan Thee Stallion Entertainment Inc., and Megan Thee Stallion as an individual. Then they're going to include 10 John Does of if they need to add anyone in there. What is he suing for? He is suing for hostile work environment harassment, failure to prevent and remedy, violation of the labor code for misclassification of his employment status, violation of the labor code for meal and rest breaks, unpaid overtime, inaccurate wage statements, waiting time penalties, and retaliation in violation of the labor code, and a violation of California Business and Professions Code. Don't know what that number directly stands for, but we'll get into it in just a moment. This is Emilio Garcia suing Megan Thee Stallion. This is an action brought by Garcia pursuant to the California statutory, decisional, and regulatory laws. Plaintiff was an employee of defendant Megan Thee Stallion Entertainment Incorporated, defendant Hot Girl Touring, defendant Rock Nation LLC, and defendant Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Pete, hereinafter referred to as Stallion. Herein mentioned all defendants collectively referred to as either defendants or employer. Plaintiff alleges the California statutory, decisional, and regulatory laws prohibited the conduct by defendants herein alleged, and therefore plaintiff is an entitlement. Typo already. Here we go. We should have played bingo today. Plaintiff has, oh no, it was me. I was wrong. I can't read. Therefore has an entitlement. I thought he was, yeah, it was me. Never mind. No typo yet. Plaintiff has an entitlement to monetary relief on the basis that defendants violated such statutes, decisional law, and regulations. So we're going to skip jurisdiction and venue and the parties. We don't need to know their addresses and all of the things. So here we go. Okay. So what are we talking about? We're talking about cameraman working for Megan Thee Stallion, Megan Thee Stallion not really paying him, Megan Thee Stallion doing weird things in front of him. And when we say weird things, we're talking about nasty, weird things. And we're going to jump right into it. So let's see here. We got on or around June 2022, plaintiff was traveling on tour with Stallion in Ibiza, Spain. After a night out, plaintiff Stallion and 3 other women were riding in an SUV together. Suddenly, Stallion and one of the other women started having adult relations right beside plaintiff. Plaintiff could not get out of the car as it was both moving and it was in the middle of nowhere in a foreign country. Plaintiff was embarrassed, mortified, and offended throughout the whole ordeal. So he basically had to be in the car while 2 girls were hanky-pankying beside him, and he did not want to be there. The following day, Stallion inquired whether plaintiff was in the SUV the previous night. Plaintiff confirmed that he was in the SUV. Subsequently, Stallion instructed, "Don't ever discuss what you saw." Stallion berated and directed her fat-shaming comments toward plaintiff, such as "you fat." Oh, wait, we got a beeping noise. Wait, where'd it go? "You fat." Yeah, she cussed at him. "Spit your food out and you don't need to be eating." So One thing I don't like about this complaint, it just escalates and it doesn't tell us why it's escalating. So she basically told him, don't say anything that you saw. And then all of a sudden she told him this, was he eating while they were talking about this? Like, I'm so confused, but whatever. He didn't really tie it together. Like, she came to me while I was eating breakfast. And then she said these things to me. It just like, she just said, don't talk about what you see. And then she called me fat and to spit my food out. It's like, were you eating? I don't like how it escalates, but that's my complaint. This complaint escalates without me really knowing what's going on, but I digress. Let's go on. After confiding in the makeup artist, Stallion learned of plaintiff's contemplation of quitting due to Stallion's possessiveness combined with lack of appropriate pay for the amount of time asked of him. As discussed fully below, later that night, Stallion drunkenly FaceTimed plaintiff, and after plaintiff expressed his belief he was being underpaid for the amount of hours actually asked of him, they reached an understanding with Stallion affirming we're good. Despite the conversation, plaintiff remained scheduled for Stallion's upcoming gig the following Friday. So we're good maybe meant, oh, well, you're fired. You don't have to show up no more, but he remained on the schedule. Nonetheless, on or around June 2023, Roc Nation unexpectedly reached out to plaintiff the night before the scheduled Friday gig and informed him that his services would no longer be required by Stallion, which is interesting. So we went from 2022 to 2023. And again, they didn't really tie it together. Like, I continued working for her for a whole year went by, and I thought we were still in the 2022 era. But anyways, it's the next year, and he was unexpectedly reached out to saying that he's out of there. We don't need you anymore. Okay. Plaintiff has timely filed a complaint of discrimination with the California Civil Rights Department and obtained a right to sue letter on April 12, 2024. It seemed like y'all wrote this in a day, but either way, I'm not judging, okay? As such, plaintiff has exhausted his administrative remedies to pursue claims under the Fair Employment and Fair Housing Act. Sorry, y'all, thought I hit my mute button. Okay. Wage and hour violations. From the inception of his employment, Plaintiff Garcia was misclassified as an independent contractor while working as a personal cameraman to defendant Stallion. Plaintiff has been treated as an independent contractor by Roc Nation and Stallion Entertainment so that he was effectively denied any protections an employee would have under the California law. In April 2018, the California Supreme Court, in the now infamous Dynamex decision, ruled that companies must successfully meet the three-pronged ABC test in order to lawfully classify someone as an independent contractor. We've talked about being an independent contractor on this live stream before, and it's pretty hard to do, especially after this new court case. Let me finish the you have to meet the prongs of the ABC test in order to lawfully classify someone as an independent contractor for purpose of wage order claims. So he wasn't properly classified as a independent contractor in his opinion. The ABC test requires an employer to prove the following to justify independent contractor classification. The worker is free from control and direction of the hiring entity in the performance of the work, both under the contract for the performance of the work and in fact, the worker performed work that is outside the usual course of the hiring entity's business, and the worker is customarily engaged in an independently established trade, occupation, or business of the same nature as the work performed for the hiring entity. On September 18, 2019, now we're back in 2019. Okay. California Governor. Oh, it's for something else. Let me stop reacting. Read the goddamn case, Bree. Okay. On September 18, 2019, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed Assembly Bill AB 5, commonly referred to as the Gig Workers Law, defined in Dynamex ABC test under the soon-to-be added Labor Code 2750.3, creating a rebuttable presumption that a worker is an employee unless the test is met, and explicitly exempting certain trades and professions. Neither the plaintiff or defendants were exempted by AB 5. He doesn't really go into what the exemption type of professions are, but I do want to kind of break this down. So when we're talking about if you have control over your work, he's going to get into why he doesn't believe he had control over his work. But me, as exercising my license as a lawyer, right? I would not be able to be, I would be considered an independent contractor. If you hired me to work on your case, to work on your business, and you hired me through my law firm, then you could classify me as an independent contractor. You can give me a 1099. However, if I am actually working, I work for Disney, I am now your employee. Disney, yes, could they come and hire me to go do a lawsuit for them? Sure. But if I'm working in Disney premises, in their offices, they have me on a yearly salary, all of the things, that is now I am an employee, right? So there's different ways of you can be an employee or a independent contractor. It just depends on how you are doing that work. And so he's going to go into why he doesn't think that he was properly an independent contractor. And we have a super chat. Okay. Let me get back to my shout out to us. Oh, okay. Got it. Shiraz says, had to bail in the middle of your T. Scott segment, but hope you will cover the trial. I know one family that lost their son at the event, and I am very interested in this case. Happened in my city. That's what I figured when you said the police really failed you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Definitely appreciate that. If I am available to cover it, I will. I do need to look back into some stuff because things have happened and I need to know those things. There's been some depositions. There's been people dismissed from the lawsuit. So I do need to go back, but I just could not remember the freaking case number on this one. So thank you so much for showing support and dropping a super chat. And like I said, if I can access it, we will cover it on the channel. Again, shout out to Therese, I hope I'm saying your name right, for the $20 super chat. Definitely appreciate that. We're going to jump back into the lawsuit to see why is Emilio saying that he is not an independent contractor here. On or around July okay. We're going back to July 2018. Plaintiff Garcia supported defendant Stallion as a personal cameraman on or around September 19. Plaintiff Garcia quit his full-time job and began employment with defendant Stallion as a full-time personal cameraman. So he could argue that initially I was an independent contractor, but then when I quit my job and I followed Stallion around all the time, that is when I became her employee. He can argue that. For all relevant time, Stallion controls and directs the work performed by plaintiff. For all relevant time, Stallion controls and dictates plaintiff work environment. For all relevant time, Stallion controls and directs work performance of plaintiff who manage no people. He doesn't have his own business. He's not bringing other people in to help him. He is basically the cameraman, the camera crew. He does the editing, he does the videoing, and he works for Megan Thee Stallion. For all relevant times, plaintiff essentially worked during all waking hours of a day. He was always answering calls and running other tasks under Stallion's direction. So maybe almost like a personal assistant as well. Plaintiff used his personal device to stay updated on his schedule, which intensified blurred the lines between work and personal time for plaintiff. More than once, Stallion interrupted plaintiff during dinner and demanded that he immediately shift his focus to assist with her TikTok creative ideas. Plaintiff stepped away from dinner and worked on the phone in a quiet space of a given restaurant. So anytime, he's basically saying anytime Megan demanded anything of him as a cameraman, he would stop what he's doing and go and do it. As a personal cameraman, plaintiff was forced to take a myriad of duties and work much longer hours. Specifically, plaintiff worked in excess of 50 hours under close scrutiny and explicit discretion of Stallion, who continuously contacted plaintiff at all hours, directing him to brainstorm TikTok videos, to edit content that plaintiff had not captured, and complete various assignments. For all relevant time, Stallion controls and directs the performance of plaintiff's work, who does not provide personal cameraman services independently of his relationship with Stallion. So basically, if he had like a videography business, or he was a virtual personal assistant, or he shot TikTok videos and he worked with several different creators, then he could potentially be considered an independent contractor. But since he only worked with Megan Thee Stallion, he's saying he was an employee of her and he was not an independent contractor. Stallion specifically told plaintiff he was not allowed to service any other client other than herself on more than one occasion. So again, kind of putting him into the place where he's only working for her, whether she wanted him to be an employee or not. That's what you kind of did at that point. Initially, plaintiff was paid a monthly flat rate of $4,000 while working for Roc Nation and Stallion Entertainment. However, on or around 2022, Desiree Perez, the chief executive officer of Roc Nation, personally contacted plaintiff to alter plaintiff's compensation structure from a monthly rate to a pay per task system invoice for each assignment. Despite this change, the time expectation of plaintiff remained the same as before Roc Nation's demand to change plaintiff's pay. However, the new invoicing system resulted in plaintiff earning significantly less as the invoice amounts did not accurately reflect the true time and effort dedicated to working for her. I don't believe he stayed working there that long. Sorry, y'all, I scrolled. Okay. On multiple occasions, Stallion explicitly directed plaintiff not to engage with other clients, expressing possessiveness over plaintiff's services as her personal cameraman. For all relevant times, Stallion controls and directs plaintiff's work performance, requiring his constant availability by phone for work-related issues, thereby causing severe emotional distress and anxiety for plaintiff. During his travels with Stallion, plaintiff was required to stay at the hotel and be on standby at all times. Any attempt to use his hotel's amenities would prompt a Stallion to reach out and request his immediate return. As a result of the misclassification, plaintiff was denied a meal break or rest break. In addition, plaintiff was not paid meal or rest break premiums during his entire employment. So it's fine to have me working through lunch, but you also need to pay me for not being able to have lunch, right? For all relevant times, Stallion controls and directs the performance of plaintiff's duty, did not qualify him as exempt for the purpose of overtime law. So you can be an exempt employee where you don't have to take lunch breaks, but you are provided with a salary. You can't just pay them piece by piece and hope that they don't sue you. During the entirety of his employment with Stallion, plaintiff was denied overtime pay as an overtime rate. Plaintiff was not paid for hours worked in excess of 8 hours in a day. For all relevant times, plaintiff was not paid time and a half for any overtime he worked or paid after the paycheck was thus underpaid for all hours worked to the extent the pay did not meet the labor code requirements. I don't know if like when they filed this, it messed up their formatting, but this formatting is for sure messed up. For all relevant times, plaintiff was not paid time and a half for all overtime hours worked on those periods. During the entirety of his employment with Stallion, plaintiff's hours of employment were not properly recorded due to purposeful misclassification of plaintiff as an independent contractor and inaccurate work records controlled by defendants. Moreover, during the entirety of his employment with Stallion, plaintiff was denied his meal and rest breaks and compensation for overtime hours worked, subjected to inaccurate timekeeping by Stallion, which resulted in inaccurate wage statements. Stallion's misclassification of his employment status left him without basic insurance coverage, depriving him of essential health care. Plaintiff grapples with mounting anxiety, depression, and physical distress stemming from toxic work environment, compounded by trauma of unpaid work. So, what do y'all think so far about this lawsuit? And honestly, y'all, this is probably the breadth of what we're going to cover because he basically just goes on to repeat the same thing over and over in each cause of action for the next 20 pages. Oh, no, the next 32 pages. He goes on and completes or repeats the same things over and over again. So that's probably all of the complaint that we're going to get into. But let me know what y'all think in the chat if you're watching live. Let's go ahead and check where we are with the likes. We're at 54 likes, y'all. We need 6 more likes to hit our like goal of 60 for the live stream. So let's go ahead and jump over. Let's see Bossy B. Oh, you guys know what? I never did the poll for Travis Scott. So we had a poll up, which a lot of people voted for. So shout out to y'all. The poll up, it says, is Travis Scott partly responsible for the Astroworld tragedy? Remember, we're saying partly because in the Hannah Gutierrez read, was she partly responsible? Yes. Did she think she shouldn't have been held accountable at all because she was partly responsible? Yes. Do we want Travis Scott doing the same thing? No. We want him to know, even if someone else contributed to this, you are also at fault. That's what we want him to know if allegedly he did these things. Okay, so we got 70% saying yes, he encouraged it. We got 5% saying no, he could not control the crowd. Then we have 3% saying no, the organizers are responsible. And then 22% saying I don't know, because of course we don't have all the facts, right? But most people are saying yes. I do think that based on the allegations, because we don't know yet, right? Things haven't come out as fact. It does seem like he encouraged it. This is kind of his MO. This is kind of how he, deals with his concerts. So I do think that he possibly is going to be held liable in this. Although he may not be the only one at fault, this lawsuit is getting getting coverage because he is involved in it, right? And people want the artists to be held responsible because he should have been a little bit more responsible and being a little tougher if he felt like he had a police team or a firefighter team that wasn't all the way together. And he did stop the concert several times when he thought weird things were happening. So I think the 70% is probably going to be right in this. And I'm definitely interested to see what comes out as facts in the... Sorry, y'all. Yawn attack. Definitely interested to see what comes out in the lawsuit as far as fact, because once those facts come out and the first lawsuit goes through, you'll probably see a lot more settlements coming through as well. Okay, into the chat. DK Fatal says, don't worry, I can't spell for poo either. LOL. Alexis Carney says, I spelled slurpy in a caption on a recent video, and I know better, but was feeling very Cheech Marin Tommy Chong, if you know what I mean. I do that often. It's bad. I do it often. I spell things wrong. Chantel says, yes, that's Jay-Z. I didn't know she was that intertwined. Well, I guess she did do a song with Beyonce, huh? Chelsea B says, yes, Jay-Z is the founder. Okay, makes sense. Tanya D says, Rock Nation is Jay-Z. I really didn't know she was that tuned in with Jay-Z. I guess that's what it is. Kimmy Locker says, the wording in this complaint is sloppy, like they mix up his and her multiple times. Yes, the formatting is bad. I'm thinking it's like once it was submitted that happened. But yes, it's a lot of weird wording. They repeat the same things over and over. And it's like, okay, did y'all not proofread this and take out the extra statements? Like, what's going on here? I agree with that. Rachel Mills says California also has a buttload of protections. Yes, they do. Again, thank you for the super chat. Yes, if Charaz, thank you for the super chat. If they are covering it live, we will cover it, but I also want to go back and catch myself all the way up. Smalls, moderator of the channel, says everybody already hit the like button, right? Cool, just checking. Welcome in. Nice to have you back tonight. Carolyn Lower says, as a grad student, I was classified as an independent contractor. Real? You mean like for tax purposes? Phoenix Waller says, I'm kind of glad to see a suit like this. This whole thing of calling people contractors to get out of paying payroll taxes and benefits, if the company is big enough, needs to stop. Yes. And that's why that lawsuit even came out with like Uber drivers and DoorDash drivers. And as you see, they're not like as pressed about tips anymore because they're getting paid an hourly rate because they're not considered independent contractors anymore. So that was a big case that kind of corrected that for a lot of these gig worker gig worker employment options where you're not really getting paid. Same thing with like hairdressers and barbers. They're all supposed to be paid hourly rates as well. So I didn't even know it applied to them until recently. So yeah. Jesse G says, was this a friend that turned into her photographer too? I don't know. I don't think I would be somebody's personal cameraman for like 4 years and they're paying me $4,000 a month and I'm not going to have any other job. I mean, like maybe because he had to travel, he wanted to do it, but I don't know. I don't think I could do that. But that's what he liked to do. But no, it didn't say whether he was a friend first or not. Lindsay says, and he goes on and on and on. Yeah. Small says, did he talk to them about changing the terms of his compensation? They declined, or he felt salty afterwards and sued. It almost feels like salty afterwards and sued because you basically accepted it for like 4 to 5 years, and now you're suing after you were let go. And like I said, the way the complaint is written is not the best. I think they could have tied together a lot of loose ends. Hopefully, Megan Thee Stallion files a motion to dismiss, and then we'll get a First Amendment complaint that's a little bit better than this. That's what I'm hoping for, but I don't know. It does seem salty. It does still, to me, to be following someone around all day and they're a celebrity. You should at least be paying me like $10K a month. If you're rich. Why are you only paying me $4,000 a month? I don't know. I feel like you should pay me. Maybe she's not rich. Maybe it's Jay-Z there. So either way it goes. And then they lowered it under that. Like, sure, going on free trips might be fun and everything, but I don't know. 4,000 just doesn't sound like enough for me. Small says, I don't know enough, but I'm leaning towards he's salty and trying to change the terms after the fact. Don't we get this a lot with these employment discrimination lawsuits? Unethical, maybe illegal. Yeah, I think it could fall under the illegal realm of it. There are rules protecting against that. But it's like, why did you not look in? Well, I mean, I guess you don't know it's wrong because you're there and you're happy and you're working with Megan Thee Stallion. And then when you get fired, you're like, oh, snap, I don't have a job. Let me go see what wrongs they did to me. You knew they were doing you wrong because you were complaining about it, right? Kimmy Walker says it's small. He doesn't claim to have made any complaints or requests except for confiding in the makeup artist. Yes. Even then, he says he confided that he was considering quitting for different reasons. Kimmy Locker says at different points in the complaint, Megan's possessiveness combined with being underpaid, Megan starting to hire another cameraman and lack of bookings. I didn't see the hiring of the other cameraman. I think I missed that one. And then Kimmy says he also doesn't claim to have told the companies about the harassment, but FEHA says they're liable if they knew or should have known. Yeah. It's like, is it annoying? Yes, but he could probably recover something. Like, this is some case that I think will settle. I think they'll end up paying him out because it's not even worth going to the courts over. And they did do some things wrong. Upside Down says, is he a union member, AFM or a UMAW? I don't think so. I think he was just some guy that met Megan Thee Stallion, possibly a friend, possibly not a friend, started being her cameraman and thought it was cool, and then was just accepting low pay just to be a part of the industry. I don't think he was part of a union. None of this sounds very well organized. It does sound like a friend that became a cameraman or someone that she just hired off of like Upwork or something that became a cameraman and friend, and like he's going out with them at night and all of like, that's not really team building like they tried to argue in Lizzo's. It sounds like it was more of a, friend kind of environment, but you still have to pay them if you're making them work. Cat Love Dreaming Peach says, is Megan friends with Lizzo for real? I don't know. I don't know. Mary Malaki says, we're 5 likes away. Are we 5 likes away? Are we not there yet? 57 likes. We are 3 likes away from our like goal, guys. Small says to Kimmy, so exactly what I suspected. Shaking my head. Didn't make the complaints, right? Small says, I do it for $4K a month for a limited period of time with boundaries in place. Yes, that's the thing. He's working all hours of the night. If I'm going to be at your beck and call, buying you coffee and all kinds of stuff, like he said, personal errands. If I got to stop eating my burrito because you want me to film a video, I'm going to need a little bit more than $4,000 a month. Or you're going to have to wait until I'm done with my burrito. So yes, boundaries, Small. Upside Down says kind of his own fault. It is, but unfortunately, he can still probably recover. Upside Down says to Small, yeah, he should have negotiated as responsibilities grew, in my opinion. Yes, and it doesn't really sound like he asked to increase his income. They just basically told him, yeah, we're decreasing your income. Or maybe they're like, oh, if we do this, this will increase your income, but it really decreased it. I don't know. Cat Love Dreaming Peach says, why don't more people watch you before they file lawsuits and look silly? The thing about it is, I think he can recover some stuff. Is it fair? No, but I do think that he can recover some stuff. And then Megan Thee Stallion also came out and said that no one's claiming actual harassment, but he kind of did. But he just named it as harassment in the lawsuit. But we all know that doing the do in front of people is actual harassment. Sorry, it is. It is. Okay, y'all. This was a short live stream. I know Kimmy offered Am I the A-holes today? but not today. We are going to end the live stream. We're going to look into some things to make the stream better for the BriHive. Yeah, shout out to the BriHive. Let's see, are we there? Can we do our horrendous like goal video that I've created for us? We are 2 likes away from hitting the like goal. Just 2 likes away from it. We got 1 member of this live stream, 1 super chat. Shout out to the BriHive. We're doing amazing. Did I reach too high for the stars for the like goal? I know we can do it. I know we can do it. Anyways, moving forward, we're going to look into some things to make the live stream better. Let me know if y'all like that format a little better, where you can't see my beautiful face all big. I like my beautiful face all big, but Kimmy told me to take my face away. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Maybe we should do a little poll or a little community tab to see what the BriHive would like to see more often in order to make the streams more enjoyable. We should be back on Thursday. I do have court on Thursday afternoon, but I do think that I will be able to get done early enough to stream with y'all. And then I am going out of town on Friday. So if Thursday gets canceled, I will try to let y'all know sooner rather than later, but I am going to try to squeeze in at least a short live stream to make sure that we cover our Tuesday, Thursday stream for this week. Allergies have been kicking my butt. I hope everyone else's allergies get better. I finally got some new allergy medicine, so hopefully that'll get better. Anyways, I am rambling. Shout out to the BriHive. We still have not reached the like goal. I tried to talk so that maybe some other people will feel happy and hit the like button, but no one else hit the like button, and that's okay. The lawsuit with Travis Scott, I think it's very interesting. If it does come out that it'll be live streamed, I will let y'all know, and I will try to cover it because I think I am going to be off on Monday and Tuesday. I'll let y'all. I took it off. Don't know if I'll actually be off. And see if we can start the trial then. Honestly, y'all, I don't really like live streaming while it's live because it takes too long. I like to watch it on fast forward. I like to watch it on fast forward for sure. So yes, Travis Scott, if that comes out, we'll see if we'll live stream it or if we'll do evening live streams and try to do one like every day to make sure we keep up with it. I don't know if I could do the whole live while it's actually live. I don't like that part. And then Megan Thee Stallion, this one's just starting off. I'm sure there's going to be some type of motion to dismiss. I don't know if it's going to go far. I think he does have some claims. Although she was not classifying him as an employee, I think he probably should have been classified as an employee. And if anything, he should get some payments for being underpaid and not having his taxes paid and not having medical insurance and everything. So I do think this is a case that is going to settle because I think there are some of the claims that he can actually succeed on. Anyways, I am done rambling. Shout out to the BriHive. I will see y'all on the next live stream. And if I need to cancel on Thursday, I will let y'all know. I hope everyone has a good night and goodbye.